Everybody, welcome to the channel. Quick update on the house. So I have debreakerfied the breaker panel. The only thing left in there right now is the 30 amp breaker to the well pump because I need water occasionally. Everything else except for two. There's one up there with blue tape, one down there with blue tape. That one is the outlets and lights in the attic, and that one is the one that just got run into the new propane tankless water heater outside. Everything else is going to get removed. I mentioned this in a short that, while I could locate all of these if I needed to, like I could tell you which circuit it was on, but understanding how it got hooked into that circuit, the way this house was wired, is going to be difficult. I'll show you a couple examples in a minute. So got a bunch of the sheetrock down. I worked on the bathroom. Got everything out except for the toilet and the tub base. I got everything cut off so I can still use water. Sink was there, everything. So everything's still kind of running around. But all that's going to come out too. This wall is not load bearing. That wall is. I don't know if you can see up there. I can't see up there that well. But the joist should run to just about that wall. Yeah, you can just see one right there. Anyway, got the sheetrock pulled out of the stairwell. I still got all the mess upstairs I got to clean up. I got the sheetrock pulled off of the front two rooms, except for that little bit at the top. It's pulled off from the wall, but it's taped to the ceiling, and when I pull the ceiling down, it'll come down. Started knocking down some of the ceiling. I went upstairs in the attic and knocked it down. You can definitely see, how they, were using 1x and direct nailing the 3/4 floorboards to them and drilling holes in them. And so I got all the outlets, the light fixtures pulled down except for the ones in the kitchen because those are cans. I'll have to get up there a little bit later. You can kind of see how disgusting this insulation was that was up in the attic. I don't know if they blew it over nastiness or if it just got nasty. I mean, there's been sorry, the dust is getting me. There's been mice tracks all through that. You can see like right there. I don't know if you can see it that well. There's a mouse trail through the insulation. They dig around quite a bit. You can see the pile of stuff there. I got a tarp down to try and catch a lot of the debris. I mean, there's a ton over here, but at least hopefully there it won't try and fall through the floor. Same thing over here. Started pulling out the ceiling back over there where I had originally tried to do it and decided we're going to do it differently. So, but I'll show you a couple of neat electrical things. So there's this box here. The way this was run, it wasn't run up through the wall. It was run down under the wall, up behind the siding, and then in a hollow wall box. So, that's good. Then there's this box. This actually used to have a shed tied to it that was over there in the orchard. But it looked like that when I got to it. It didn't. It looked worse than that because the wires were actually sticking out. But I can't get to that box. What they did is there's an outlet on the other side of the wall, and they just cut it and tied it into that. But anyway, that one was that way. And there was one over here. That one was also cut into an outlet. It got hit with a weed eater a bunch because it was just a wire sticking out, and then it goes over to that shed. So, a lot of different wiring possibilities with this house. It may be on circuit A, but where on circuit A did they cut it and crimp into it or tie into it with, and how did they do it with wire nuts? They tie it into a box, most of the outlets in this house are hollow wall boxes. So good thing is that, you know, since I'm tearing it all down, I can now go back and have it done properly. You know, we'll get right gauge wire for everything, up to date wire. I like this. This isn't hooked to anything. I've got it. I threw some of those on there real quick just to keep it from doing anything. But this old wire, I mentioned this in the short as well. It goes to the kitchen lights. Like, they didn't pull it out and replace it. They just tied into it. It's maybe 14 gauge, possibly. So, you know, like I said, it's one of those things that they remodeled, they did things, they cut new wires in, they ran new wires. It just needs to be pulled all the way back and fixed. So you know what's on which circuit at any given time. They're all labeled properly. They have the right size breaker. They have the right size wire for the service they're running. You know, it's not about, can I find it or can I do anything like that. It just needs to be done right. So, and that's going to cost a bunch given the price of wire nowadays. So, but again, I'm going to live here. I'd rather it be wired properly and I know where everything goes. So anyway, that's where it is now. I guess I need to get a dumpster. It's the next step. Get rid of everything in here because don't have much room to move around. Get all the ceiling torn down after that. I'll have to wear a mask to do that because it gets just so nasty in here. And then get out some of these non-load bearing walls and then figure out what we're going to do with the floor. Yay. So anyway, thanks y'all. Talk to you later.